Okay, this video will be about how the currency in America has been debauched. And what this does is it transfers the wealth of the people to the bankers' conspiracy, international conspiracy. And it's such a slow, subtle thing that people don't even recognize that it's taking place. Plus, if you're only, you got to be 110 years old to actually live through this. So all of us have been victims of this. All of us have become accustomed to the fake currency. When you go to a foreign country, you think, wow, their currency is really fake. But they're all fake, basically, if it's based on fractional reserve. And as we are noticing that, yes, major banks are going belly up, and are the powers that be, the evil powers that be, are they going to be able to accomplish their reset? Or is there going to be an opposition that's going to try to bring in a quantum financial system based on gold? Only time will tell, and it'd be a blessing if that does take place. But when you see a run on a bank, meaning people are, they lost confidence in the currency, lost confidence in the bank, well, pretty much it's too late then. And they discover that the bank doesn't even have to have a reserve at all. I mean, it's just amazing. They usually use 10% as an example of a fractional reserve. But last I asked a friend who was a banker that it was 4% at the time, but I think now it's 0. And with a little foreknowledge, where it says in Proverbs 22:3, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. And that verse is written twice. Have some discernment and be prudent in this matter. And so I just want to give you what I understand to be true. Okay, this is Modern Money Mechanics, and I had this in a previous one. And this is a Federal Reserve publication. See, fractional reserve banking system. Okay, what that means is if you have $100 in a bank and the percentage is 10%, and there's a run in a bank, then you could only receive $10. Okay, but the last I'd asked a friendly banker that the requirement was 4%, but according to this is Board of Governors Federal Reserve System. And according to this, March 26, 2020, if my understanding is correct, look at this. They reduced reserve requirement ratios to 0% effect. 0. I mean, whew. That means the money be gone if there's a run on the bank. I mean, absolutely, that's something to think about. Now, here's a fine person who said the best way to destroy the capitalist system is to debauch the currency. Fine patriot-loving American. And then John Maynard Keynes, he said, by this means, fractional reserve banking, government may secretly and unobserved confiscate the wealth of the people, and not one man in a million will detect the theft. So we're going to try to overcome that. So we're going to try to inform you that more of us can learn this. And here again in Modern Money Mechanics, when I scroll down, what makes money valuable? And here they said it's confidence. Confidence, mainly it is the confidence people have that they will be able to exchange money for, and then so forth, blah, blah, blah. In other words, the currency has no intrinsic value today. The bankers, the just bankers of the Federal Reserve, it's by their good judgment. Okay, here is this National Geographic article where they say they just create money out of thin air. Just create it. And there's no limit, so now the fractional reserve, if my understanding is correct, is 0. Only the good judgment and conscience of the responsible Federal Reserve people. Oh boy, that just makes feel warm and fuzzy. And so, yes, it's good judgment and conscience of the original people back in the Fed day, beginning part in 1913, stole the wealth of people, and they create boom and bust cycles, are orchestrated to subtly steal the wealth of the people by the insiders of the conspiracy. And that's what they do. That's what they do. And that's why John Maynard Keynes says that, not even 1 in a million is going to figure it out. And this currency that you and I have in our pockets or we're going around is absolutely worthless. It cost about 4 cents to print each of those documents. In America, 1776 declared our independence. The economies of each of the states was just falling apart, and many of the men that were part of the founding of this country were wondering if it was worth it. In 1787, the men got together and hashed out the Constitution, and here it says, "We, the people of the United States, we, the people of the United States." Okay, then it says here, "Do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America." Okay, not of the United, it's for. So the people, the creators, are greater than their creation. And this is a job description. Article 1 is a job description of the legislator. Article 2 would be of the executive. Article 3 would be the judiciary. And so they are not to step outside of this. But unfortunately, they have. And the servants have become an abusive master. So this is a constitution for the United States. And in here, when you scroll down through here, they established, because they noticed how bad the continental script was causing the distrust in the economy. In Section 10, no state shall, and then all this, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts. Those words right there, those words brought the financial basis of this country under the standard of the Bible right there. And then the economy began to boom for many, many years. And of course, the parasites, the skeeters, the conspiracy is going to fly around and try to take advantage of this. So there's the Constitution, and that's brought the economy under the standard of the Bible. Now, in April 2nd, 1792, this is known as the Coinage Act, or here they call it the Mint Act. It's not, peppermint, spearmint, whatever. Okay, and when you scroll down here, what they're going to do is they're going to actually define what the currency actually is. They're going to set the standard for the country of the currency. So right here, we have, be it enacted, okay, gold, silver, copper, and then certain denominations. So they had gold eagles, $10 or units. Okay, $10 are units. The dollar here, okay, if you ask somebody for $1 today, that you would think they'd give you a piece of paper. But $1 is a unit of measure, like a quart. Give me a quart. A quart of what? A unit. $1, $10. So back then, if you asked somebody for $1 or $10, they would say $1 of what? Gold. $1 of gold. And then this gives the standard of how much weight gold an eagle would be. Then you have half an eagle, okay, gold. Then quarter eagle. So they're setting the standard. They're making a standard for the currency, giving it a gold standard. Dollars of the same and now current. So this is where we get the word currency. And so then you have silver dollars. Then half dollars, and this is how much weight it takes. $quarter. There's our quarter. Then our dimes. Then half dimes. We call those nickels. And then cents. Okay, that cents is made out of copper right there. This is the standard right here laid out for us. And they had half cents. I don't think I've ever seen that. And then over here, they in section 11, they lay out the standard of the ratio, the proportional value of gold to silver in all coins, and it shall be 15 to 1. So 15 to 1, gold to silver. So if it's, say, 20 to 1, and I would say buy silver. If it's 10 to 1, buy gold. So the Coinage Act laid the standard for the gold coin, the silver coin, and then instead of carrying coins around, they developed paper currency that was a certificate of silver, certificate of gold. Okay, that certificate let you know that there was a silver coin in a place stored, and if you took that certificate, silver certificate, to the treasury, then they would give you a silver dollar in exchange for this, payable to the bearer on demand. Now, this long history, again, like I said, man, if you're if you're 110 years old, you have to be 110 to be born before 1913. All of us have lived under this, and it shows that Lucifer is the one behind all of this, because the men and the devils at Jekyll Island who established the Fed, schemed it up there at the Fed, are all dead. But Lucifer at the tippy top knows this is a way to control people. He don't need money. He don't need the currency. He uses it for control purposes. Okay, so this is the silver certificate back in those days, see, 1923. So those people knew that they could take this very light piece of paper and go and get a silver coin if they wanted. Okay, this one here was in 1957. So you got 1957 there, and then we have these. I just got these. I just bought these on the other day, on Thursday. I bought these on Thursday up in Michigan. I was preaching up there. And you can see these are 1957. Man, that's the year I was born. That was a good year. But notice these are pretty close in numbers there, 45, 49, same all the other numbers. But again, a person back then, if they had this in their possession, they knew that there's a silver coin, a dollar silver coin that they could go, and it would have to be weighed according to the Coinage Act of 1792. And then here's another pair that I just found, purchased. These are back to back. Look at that. 49 there, 50 there. Boy, that's pretty good. Now, what that is, that's real money. That's got value. That's got value. Now, that piece of paper, intrinsically, it doesn't have value, but a person can go get the value from this certificate. Okay, then we have this one here. This is a 1928 or 9, whatever that number is. Okay, this certifies, that they have been deposited in the Treasury of the United States of America, a gold certificate. So this person can go and get $20, the unit of measure, in gold coin payable to the bearer on demand. So these people knew this. Now, this is 1928 there. And the people then knew that they could still go get this, even though there was some floating around. There was this new creature that came about, the Fed, that was printing fake currency. Now, here's what the Fed did. Federal Reserve note. Okay, we got a shift here. Okay, this is not a United States note. This is a Federal Reserve note. This is from a private corporation. It's not federal. They have no reserve. Okay, and this is, what year is this? 1928. So in 1928, a person could have in possession that gold certificate, what I showed before, and they could have this in possession. But then notice they put something right here. Redeemable. Oh, my friend, do you know what it means to be redeemed? To get something back. Redeemable in gold on demand at the United States Treasury. So this person who would see that Federal Reserve note and say, I'm not taking that piece of paper. But then they could read this. I could go get something of value. And it says redeemable or in gold or lawful money. Now, isn't that funny? Lawful money. So is this saying this piece of paper is unlawful money? That's exactly what it's saying. At any Federal Reserve Bank, will pay to the bearer on demand $20. $20 in gold. And a person could just say, and back then, they're still okay. This is how subtle that this is taking place. Okay, here's a bigger number, but again, it only costs 3 or 4 cents to print this document. And this is 1934. Okay, Federal Reserve note. They've got that right there. That's a good place. We'll pay the bearer on demand $100. So at that time, those people, okay, I can still go get lawful money. This is unlawful, but I can get lawful money. This is what it says right there. At any Treasury or Federal Reserve Bank. Okay, we're okay, but here's the trick, the subtlety. Okay, this is 1934. 1934, there we go. And then, see, you still got that there, right there. That's looking pretty good. We'll pay the bearer on demand $20. Okay, but here we got 1950. 1950. So 16 years later, the conspiracy is getting a little more bold. They're getting ready to make a move, but nobody could see it. Nobody could catch it because, it's just so subtle. But notice how this is really small now. 4 lines, larger print. 3 lines, very small print. Oh, looky there, how that's very small print. Are they getting ready to make a change here? This is 1950. In 1950, you can still get it. Okay, but here we go. Notice all that's taken away. All that's taken away in today's currency. This is 2013. And nobody even saw it taking place. Not 1 in a million. That's the trick of it. Okay, in 1963, a person could have 3 different $5 bills. Now, in 1963, 5s didn't look like that, but I didn't have one. Okay, this is a silver certificate, so this is okay to have, and this certified that you can go get 5 silver dollars based upon the Coinage Act. There you go, you can get it. Well, President Kennedy, he is going to challenge this private corporation, and he started having published United States note. Okay, now this is not backed by anything. It's just United States note in competition with the Federal Reserve note, 1963. And the powers that be, the money lenders, the money changers of the world, didn't like this. So they took care of President Kennedy, and the next dude, LBJ, he pulled all of these out of circulation. Yeah, all of these were pulled out of circulation. The only place you can find is at a coin shop. And then good old honest tricky Dick Nixon, he pulled us off the silver standard. And so the only place you find these now is in a coin shop. Let's see what how the Bible shows what money is supposed to be. Okay, so in the Bible, the gold standard, or the America, this new country, came under the standard of the Bible by the Coinage Act, gold and silver. So this is the first time the word gold is found in the Bible, second time. And it says Abraham was very rich in cattle and silver and gold. Notice that, not paper currency. He had cattle, silver, and gold. Now, a person could use this cattle as a medium exchange. 1 cow for 10 pigs. I don't know. He could, the cattle, they drop some cow patties out in the pasture and let that thing dry. And that could be like a certificate of a cow. Go to somebody and say, hey, I got a certificate of this cow. Proof of this is this cow patty. And, man, you got to make sure it's dried out by the sun because that gets kind of sticky. Okay, so there you could use that, but Abram at this time, 13:2, Abram was very rich in silver and gold. Silver and gold. And if you run down through here, you'll see that that's a standard in the Bible. But you see, gold has to be weighed. In the Bible, money has to be weighed. So here's the first time weighed is found in the Bible. Abraham was going to purchase, something of value from Ephron, and he wanted silver in exchange. And so he weighed the silver because it has a certain volume of weight, density, silver, gold, and here's current money, currency, current money. And so you see the standard in the Bible is you weigh money. Some folks think they're really strict on the Bible and everything. Well, do you weigh your money? No, we don't weigh money today. It's fake currency. Here in Ezra 8:25, he weighed unto them silver and gold. So this is Ezra. Again, Ezra 8:20, he even weighed unto them 650 talents of silver. So they had some sort of a standard for their gold and silver. The country set it up. He says here in Job 20, it cannot be gotten for gold, neither shall silver be weighed for the price thereof. Right here in Jeremiah 32, Jeremiah was in the pokey, and the Lord told him he needed to buy some property from his uncle's son, the field of my uncle's son. And so his cousin say, yeah, I'll sell it to you. So he weighed, he's in the pokey at the time, so he obviously had to have somebody there. And he had his money in a pottery someplace hidden. And he weighed the money and the silver. And notice he weighed it here, and they subscribed the evidence. So they had some sort of a deed or, land patent, allodial title of some type, and sealed it. And then he had witnesses, so they observed all that. And then looky here. Here's Zechariah 11. This is the Judas Iscariot. Even the devils, Judas Iscariot and the devils, the Pharisees, they live by the gold standard. It says, so they weighed my price 30 pieces of silver. You see, even atheists know the value of gold and silver. And so since they weighed it, there obviously had to be some sort of a balance, a scale. Okay, so then we'll find that in Scripture. Let me be weighed in an even balance. That's what he's asking. Now here, I've heard preachers preach about a false balance is abomination, Lord, and then they'll go off on, some preaching mess. Oh, you want to stay in balance, stay in balance. Well, that's not what this is talking about. I mean, it's okay to preach like that, but this is a false balance, and a just weight is his delight. The false balance is abomination. Okay, so, that would be fixing a scale so the money doesn't weigh what it actually does. Proverbs 20, verse 23. Diverse weights are an abomination. You see, to the Lord, your financial dealings are just as important as your spiritual dealings. And so let's throw an S on this balance and see what we come up with. Oh, there we go. Leviticus 19 is the standard for holiness for Israel. And so you have Leviticus, ye shall be holy. So this is standard for holiness. When you scroll down through, you got your peace offerings and all these things, and you got to love thy neighbor, keep the statutes, be holy, be pure. And then you get down here and you read this, ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, in meat yard, in weight, or in measure, just balances, just weights, a just ephah, just hin, shall you have, and I'm the Lord your God. To the Lord, your financial dealings are just as important as keeping the Sabbath. The Lord is watching that. He's observing that. In the New Testament, you find this over in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, where here he says, these are the standards of God. It's not called us to uncleanness, but holiness. Ye ought to walk and please God. And then he says that no man go beyond and defraud his brother. Business. Now, I'm not saying that, in order to be right with God and be holy, you got to, just operate by gold and silver standard. No, you don't have to do that. You can operate as you choose. The Lord just wants you to be honest. Now here, if you look at the Bible doctrinally, Ezekiel 45, Ezekiel 40 to 48 is the Bible description of the millennial temple and a lot of events. So if you look at that from that perspective, so if this is setting in the millennium, what preceded the millennium is obviously the Great Tribulation. And so the Lord says this, thus saith the Lord God, let it suffice you, O princes of Israel, remove violence and spoil, execute judgment and take away your exactions. Oh man, what is that? What am that? An exaction is a governing official charging somebody that isn't required to pay. It's akin to extortion. This is where it showed that Zacchaeus came to the Lord, and he was a government official, and he said, I'm willing to pay back people, that if they think that I unjustly tax them. So there's the exactions, okay? And then he says, ye shall have just balances. Why? To weigh the money. Just ephah and a just bath. Yeah, a bathtub. Now these are, things that they are to weigh. Ephah, bath. One measure, that the bath may contain a 10th part of homer. 10th part of homer. Homer? Wowee. And then you got a shekel and all that. What this is, right here, is the coinage act for the millennial time period. That's what that is. You see all that details of weighing this, weighing that, weighing this. In America, it's the Coinage Act to set the standard. In the millennium, this right here will be their Coinage Act. You see, and so the Bible reveals that if you want to have a stable economy, stable wealth in a country, it needs to be based on gold and silver. Even the heathen know that. That's why they collect gold and silver. Now, obviously, the conspirators are using the system to abuse the people. And there's some that figure it out, that they can do the same and gain and get wealth their own way. But, and you and I are forced to use this fake currency. We got this fake currency everywhere. But what you can do, and it says in Proverbs that a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. So I would suggest, this is what I've done through the years, is this past week, I happened to be up in Michigan preaching at this church, these wonderful people, the wonderful pastor and his family. And so across from the church, kind of catty-corner to the church, was a coin shop. And last year, when I was up there, I bought some silver from them. And so I wanted to do the same this year. And so what I did is I took this fake, worthless currency, this paper that costs about 4 cents to print, and I took this and traded this for this, a silver eagle. Yeah, that's what I did. I traded this for this. Now, I mean, this is worthless. This has value. Now, but, it's an amazing thing, and I got 20 of these. You put them in a little plastic container, so obviously I had to give some more of this of worthless value for this. And in the past, I was able to pay this for this. So what changed? Why is it now this for this much, this one piece of coin here, that I had to give him this kind of fake money? But, man, I have bought this for this. What changed? What changed? Did this get debauched? Or did this get debauched? I've actually bought one of these for one with a 10 on there. Yeah, fake 10. But now, in order to get that coin, the coin dealer wants this kind of fake currency. Whoa, still a good deal. Still a good deal, because This you can lose confidence in. This you maintain your confidence even when this goes belly up. Now you can do this anywhere in the world. You can take your fake currency of your country and then exchange it for some value of silver or gold. I mean, in Australia, you can do this. We plan to be in Australia, and we might go to a coin shop. And I know it's not down under, it's over yonder, because, when we fly, I've never yet felt that plane go, in over the equator and then down and then land upside down in Australia. We never felt that at all. Last time we flew, I put a level right on my table tray from Chicago to Los Angeles as we were chasing the sun. And man, it just stayed perfectly level and everything. I guess that's why it's called an airplane. Fortunately, it's not called an air curvature. Oh, okay, but even at that, you can do this in your country. You can take your fake currency, and I would encourage you to try to find some place where you can get something of value, silver, gold. When people lose confidence in the money, you definitely want to have some land. And you want to have some land with a good water source. But I know that if an evil system comes in, they could just kill the landowners. Well, for the believer, I guess you get to step up into eternity. And then have some gold and silver in case you need to travel and barter with people. And store some food up. And then possibly you can seek to be blessings to people who will be victims because they were not prudent enough, or maybe they didn't have the opportunity to understand how currency has been debauched. And the prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, and the simple pass on and are punished. So with this video, I hope that you become one of those million that understand how the currency has been debauched, and that you can still serve the Lord and occupy till He comes. And hopefully that's very, very soon. Even so come, Lord Jesus.